Hi, I'm Keshava from Keshava Hatha Yoga. Welcome to our third video blog. I would like to discuss, it's a small conversation that I had with one of our yoga students, and it's more about how to apply the principle of the practice, what we do on the mat, into our daily life, and how to use what we are practicing in our daily life. So the situation that my student described is it has been challenging to keep up my practice, more on the mental side, of not letting stress and anger slowly build up in my mind. But I'm trying to work with it and not run away from it. First of all, that's a great thing. That's exactly the attitude of the practice, is to put the body in a position where we find ourselves challenged, difficult to breathe and all the stress building up, and not to run away from it, to work with it. In the classic Hatha Yoga, there is a say that the practice begins when it starts to be difficult. That means there are some people that are very flexible. So they can bring their nose to the toes, and for them the practice ended. They managed to bring the nose to the toes, but they are either practicing for many years or just naturally flexible, and there is no challenge. And that's not the Hatha Yoga. The Hatha Yoga, the classic, is if your nose reaches the toes, wonderful, now reach further away until you start to feel challenged. And when you start to feel challenged, that means you feel your body is working, the breath becomes to breathe becomes more difficult, then your actually practice begins. And so on. I can give a few more examples, but the idea, I think, is clear. So what I would recommend is to at least 5-10 minutes a day, morning or evening or both, is to try to, after a very short warm-up, to put yourself in a challenging position. I really recommend a chair pose, Utkatasana, or horse stance, or plank. But those two standing postures are very good, because when you do a challenging standing posture, you get immediately the physical reaction that comes out of mental and emotional stress. When we are mentally challenged, or the mind is really obsessed about a certain problem, or we are in a stressful situation at work, the physical effects are exactly, the physical reaction are exactly as in those standing poses. And we can feel it quite immediately. The shortness of breath, the blood goes up to the head, and all these symptoms. So I really recommend to go into this posture and practice there to relax. The effect is tremendous. As you will be able to relax more and more into those postures, you will be able to actually deal with the physical and mental tension that develops in stressful situation or emotional stress. So I'll show you the posture I'm talking about, how to do them, and what to emphasize. Well, Utkatasana, the chair pose. Feet parallel. We'll do it as this helps. Feet parallel, shoulder width apart, helps us with better stability and better alignment of the legs. The more we narrow the gap between the feet, we start to have a balancing challenge. So if you like this balancing challenge, you just bring your legs close together, and you see to go to Utkatasana is more challenging. We'll build the pose step by step. We start with the feet parallel, shoulder width apart. What does it mean, feet parallel? Is that the inside of the feet is parallel. The toes are directing straight forward, and the knees are aligned with the toes. That means the gap between the knees resembles the gap between the feet. When we go into the pose, we're going to go gently as we bend the knees, and we don't rotate the pelvis back. I'll do it in a profile, it'll be more clear. We don't arch the back, creating a pressure or compression in the lower back. We would like to keep the back straight and flat. So I bend my knees and I allow the pelvis to kind of sit back, but without rotating the pelvis. We want the back to stay straight and not stretched or compressed. So I just sit back with the pelvis, make sure my back is flat. And from here, how far to sit depends on the challenge that I start to feel. So as I sit back and down, feeling the reaction in the legs. In the first step, I can just put my palms on my knees. So if I do it facing you, I'm starting to sit, back straight. And place the palms on the knees, feeling the stimulation. I can stay here, so I can build it from a few seconds to a few minutes. Trying to keep the neck aligned with the upper back, so I don't compress my neck or drop it down and stretch it. Everything. You want the spine to be aligned, basically. You won't go to the energetical aspect of this pose, but you want the spine straight. Now, if I want to increase the challenge, I will just open the arms to the side. And here there are a few variations. You can press the palms together and lengthen. You can keep them parallel. Just make sure the arms are straight, back is straight, and into the challenge. You can bring the palms back. And then slowly with inhalation rising up and relax. So the next pose is the horse stance pose. Usually it will be done by the feet parallel, a little bit wider. Again, we want the knees aligned with the toes, directing with the toes, same direction. If this doesn't feel comfortable for you, you can modify it and just open the toes 45 degrees, again knees aligned with the toes. And we just, basically you can bring the palms in front of the chest in Namaste, and you can start sitting down very gently. The moment you feel the slight resistance, you stop and you stay. The idea here in all these poses is my ability to relax under pressure. Legs works wonderful with power of gravity and gives you a great chance to feel how the energy builds up, how the heat builds up, how the blood goes to the head. All the same symptoms that we have when our mind is extremely active and we are feeling extremely stressed out. So what I do here is I just close my eyes, open the mouth softly, breathe to the belly, and relax. Just relax. At the beginning you find it difficult and you can barely stay for a few seconds and the pressure is overwhelming, you can't breathe, you can't take it. And then slowly you can just relax and ease into it. That means your state of relaxation, facial breathing, is not affected by the pressure, the trembling, or the building up of the energy. To come out, you inhale, and you relax. Give yourself a few moments, knees softly bent, not to apply pressure on the lower back. Do not go too deep into that because it's a big issue about locking knees and pressing the lower back. We'll deal with it with another block. Now just relax and enjoy. Thank you very much for being with us in this third video blog. I hope it helps you because it can help any person. I really recommend those posture, this practice to any person regardless if you're practicing yoga or not. It's really helping us to deal with stress. Thank you very much. Keshava Radha Yoga. Namaste.